I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's reading will be on the topic of what did you decide prior to incarnating with your spiritual team that you wanted to work on in this incarnation. So this will be the theme that set off all of your experiences and life lessons in this lifetime, the major theme. So you have 6 piles to choose from top to bottom, left to right. Pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here's another angle. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So what you decided, your life plan for this incarnation, was to learn to be creative and independent, and to also have fun. So to be creative and independent and have fun with your life decisions. So you would experience a lot of life experiences of people trying to shove you into a box and trying to guide your life for you. So you should resonate with growing up with stricter parents who had decided, okay, this is what you're going to do and this is what you're going to take in college, or these are the kinds of grades that we expect you to get in all of your courses, regardless of what you're actually good at. You guys are coming off more creative, so you probably would have done better in art and drama class and music class and phys ed than say the typical math and sciences and maybe even languages that your parents would have preferred you to do well in, because they felt like that would have led down the stream of a more stable and secure career. So you will have and will continue to experience lots of different experiences, both small and large, of where you have a choice to either go with the flow and do what everyone else is doing and do things that are safe, versus doing what you actually want to do and being creative in the particular situation. So we're talking both small and big. You know, what kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of clothes do you wear to a particular interview even? Do you go and play it safe, or do you wear what you think is going to make you stand out and show your personality a bit more? What kind of jobs do you apply to? Do you apply to the safe ones, or do you go after what you really want to do? And you guys are supposed to be doing something that requires your creativity and that gives you some freedom of time, some scheduling freedom. So yeah, you're going to experience, and you have been experiencing, people trying to dictate to you what you should be doing, how you should be acting, basically trying to put you in a box. So you should experience a lot of those types of pushbacks. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 2. Welcome to your reading. So the life plan that you made with your spiritual guides to learn what you wanted to learn. A little bit similar to the last pile, but with you guys, there are really no people around who are trying to put you in a box. So your plan was to learn to make your own decisions, similar again to the last pile, and to not conform and to not just go along with what other people are saying. So with you guys, it's more heavy on you not going along with what other people are telling you to do and not going along with other people's decisions. So you would resonate with growing up and just in your life in general, even up until this day, and will continue to happen, of people giving you their opinions, both when you ask of them and also when you don't ask of them. And you may find it extremely difficult to make decisions because you feel like you're deficient in some information always when it comes to making some kind of decision. So you may rely heavily on your friends, on your family, on oracle cards, tarot cards, on diviners, readers such as myself, pick the cards and all that kind of stuff to make decisions. And you're actually supposed to make your own decision. So you're going to find in this lifetime that the universe in general seems to not be helping you when it comes to making decisions. Like, you don't have yellow flags on top of a certain path that's like sparking it as, hey, this is the answer, this is the decision that you should make. Instead, both options seem to not have a flag attached to it. They don't have a spark. There's nothing differentiating one over the other immediately. I mean, when you go into meditation, you guys do have the wisdom. We have the Moose wisdom card. So you have the wisdom to come out with the most appropriate decision, but immediately on the surface, both decisions or all three options, however many options there are going to seem like almost equal playing field. And this will resonate with small things up until the large things. So even large things like, what degree do I go after in university, or do I even go to university, or do I not? Also, even smaller decisions like, what color plates do I want? Do I want the blue or do I want the purple? You might be thinking, well, I like purple better, but at the same time, I also live with someone who's a guy, so maybe he won't really appreciate the purple. Or, you're gonna, in your mind, is going to be going through all of these things, just picking out a color of a sweater or something like that. So even anywhere from small decisions to larger ones, you're going to find that neither one are really immediately poking out. If you can think of a bunch of things like, okay, this and that for option A, but you're also going to be hearing that and this for option B. So they're going to end up equaling out once again, even though you might immediately think, okay, I think it's this, but then you're going to go, oh, but what about this? And then you're going to go, yeah, okay, but then there's that, but then there's this and that. So, you're going to find, like I said, that the universe in general is not helping you with making decisions, not making your life easier. And also, you're going to gravitate towards relying on other people around you to make final decisions. And you have to cut that out. You have to get out of that, because you came here to learn to make your own decisions and to rely on your own inner wisdom. So you have to tap into your own inner wisdom to make every single decision, from small to large, that you need to make, and stop relying on other people to make those decisions for you. Something is always going to happen where those people you're relying on heavily to make the final decisions for you, something's going to happen with them. You guys may break up, whether it's friendship or romantic relationship, or if it's a roommate, they may move out, or you guys may lose contact, or they may just outright refuse to make decisions for you because they're saying, you can't keep texting me every time you want to decide which pants you want to buy. Like, something's going to happen to pull that option away from you of the physical person who's always making the final decisions for you, so that you can go back and rely on yourself. If I was using tarot, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten the Hermit card. So you need to hermit every time you need to make a decision, even if it takes you like 20 minutes or an hour to make a decision. Whereas you kind of feel like, well, it's a waste of time because all I'm doing is deciding between the color of a sweater. Whereas if I just asked my best friend, she would be able to tell me respond to my text within 5 minutes, versus me standing in the store for like 25 minutes trying to decide between the two. You need to stand in the store for 25 minutes and make the decision yourself, because it's not going to end until you do these things yourself. So in this lifetime, you're going to continue to be put in situations where you need to make choices that are seemingly equal in terms of their weight. And the more you try to rely on other people for help, the more calamity is going to come to you. So this is not going to end. You gotta hermit, go into your inner wisdom and come up with the decision yourself, the final decision. So, and start with also small things. Don't overlook small things like, oh, this is just a teacup. It's not a big deal if I ask my roommate. Don't, because the universe doesn't really see big or small. It just sees opportunities for you to make your own damn decision. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So the life lesson that you decided with your spiritual guides that you wanted to learn in this incarnation was how to rebalance your yang energy, your divine masculine energy. So you guys naturally, or in a lot of your past incarnations, for whatever reason, were heavy in the yin, where other people made decisions for you, other people controlled you, other people set parameters for your life, other people made all the decisions for you. You went with the flow type of thing. You didn't really lead unless you were given some authority to lead in a small capacity, and then you did that. Only when you were given permission to do things did you ever do anything. You didn't really do much on your own accord. So you were very much in the yin energy before incarnating. So you ended up incarnating here to learn to rebalance out your yang energy, to get that back, because it's kind of like you lost all of it. So for simplicity purposes, we're just going to assume that you have like 1% yang when you incarnated and you were 99% yin. And you need to get back to 50-50. In fact, you might even want to try to get to like 51% yang, just to be on the safe side for good measure, before you leave here. So you're going to resonate with, if this is your pile, incarnating into a family that were very oppressive, where they trampled over your boundaries, and as a result, you didn't really have any. Whenever you tried to set boundaries, they were disregarded. So you couldn't really set any, so you didn't have any. And you still don't really have very strong boundaries. Your parents would have been controlling, oppressive. Other people in your life would have been controlling and oppressive. You may have had friends growing up, and also boyfriends or girlfriends who were controlling and oppressive. You may have been bullied growing up. In general, in life, you may find that as an adult, that life in general seems to be pushing you around, and you don't really have much control over your own life. And it's because you're still too high in the yin percentage. So your good luck, because you may find you should feel like you have bad luck. Your good luck with this ladybug card is going to come once you balance out that yang, once you're in your power, once you take your power back. So you may resonate that you've had a lot of pick a card readings where they're talking about taking your power back, and you may not necessarily understand what the heck they're talking about. This is what they're talking about: taking your power back. Taking back the yang, taking back the divine masculine that you gave away time and time again in your past incarnations for whatever reason. So in this lifetime, it's about setting boundaries. It's about being firm and making your own decisions. If you resonated also with, like, you were looking at piles and you were thinking, oh, maybe I'll pick 2, but you ended up picking 3. What I can tell you is that you're going to, in this lifetime, have a lot of situations where you just don't know what decision to make. Like I said in pile 2, where every option seems to be weighed equally, and there's no immediate flag, like yellow flag, above a particular option that makes it easy for you to just immediately make that decision and take that option. And you may decide that, oh, you rely on other people to help you make decisions. You absolutely cannot do that in this lifetime. You cannot rely on other people to make decisions for you, whether it's small or big, because like I said in pile 2, the universe doesn't see the difference between small and big things. They don't see the difference between, oh, I'm just trying to make a decision between what color teapot I should buy at the store, versus I'm trying to make a decision on what degree I should take in university. there's no real difference. Every opportunity that comes along for you to make your own decision, you have to make your own decision. Even if it takes you an hour to make that decision, you have to take that hour and take your own time, and don't rely on other people. And know that in your lifetime, if you kind of feel like, why is making decisions so hard, there's no immediate easy option, or there's no immediate like yellow flag. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a marker over an option that would make it easier immediately to identify the right decision. There's quote unquote not ever a right decision for you to make immediately off the bat. And you do have to go into yourself. You do have to hermit. You do have to tap into your inner wisdom, because you do have inner wisdom to be able to make your own decisions. But for you guys, it's more about just simply making them, even if they're wrong. For the last pile, it was about tapping into their inner wisdom and knowing what the right decision is. For you guys, it's not so much that, although that will help you. It's just the fact that you need to make it yourself. Even if you end up quote unquote making the wrong one, quote unquote the wrong one, in this lifetime, making the, again, quote unquote wrong one is not even a thing. As long as you make one, it's the right one, and the universe will help you correct course if it, again, quote unquote, was the wrong one. Because again, for you guys, it's just about making it. So as long as you make one, it's the right thing to do. Okay, so that should help alleviate some of your anxiety. And you also need to set boundaries. So you will in this lifetime, and have experienced people pushing your boundaries like crazy. You may also experience or have experienced relationships with narcissists, because they are really pushy when it comes to other people's boundaries. They're like the pushiest when it comes to traversing over other people's boundaries that they may try to set. And they do best with people who have very poor boundaries. So you may find that you attract them a lot, and you have attracted them a lot. And the reason for that, you may have been thinking, why is that? The reason for that is because you have very poor boundaries, and you're attracting the very opposite of you. So someone with very poor boundaries, the opposite of that is someone who really pushes or traverses strongly over other people's boundaries. So these are the types of people that you're going to attract. You may also attract bosses like that, landlords like that. As long as it's all, the degree of these types of people you attract is going to be directly proportionate to and opposite to the degree of boundaries that you do or do not have. Again, think of a percentage. If you're at 50%, then you're only going to attract people who 50%, kind of half try to traverse your boundaries, which is not that big of a deal. Like, you can push back one time out of 2 times, you can push back. But if you're still at like 90% yin, then you're going to get people who are going to push your boundaries 90% of the time. Because you're only 10% of the time are you going to be able to put your foot down and say no to them. So your good luck, again, is going to come, because you would find that you're having bad luck. Your bad luck comes when you're too much in the yin, when you do not set parameters for your life, and when you do not take authority over your life, and when you do not take a leadership position over your life. That's when you do not do that, you have bad luck, because you do not have, think of like water or just the yin energy just flowing without a box, without anything to contain it. And it's not because you need other people to contain you, because you will attract other people trying to contain you if you don't get this under control. But it's about the yin energy deciding for itself finally, okay, even though I like to be flowy, I'm going to flow in this general direction. If you're not doing that, if you haven't decided that, which general direction you want to flow in, which direction you want your life to go in, how you want your life to go, and actually believing that you can make your life go that way, the way a typical man in his masculine energy would. The typical divine masculine energy is not going to be like, oh, I wonder if I could maybe get this job, even though I'm missing a year out of the 3 years that they require for experience. the reason why a lot of men end up getting higher paying jobs and stuff and in higher positions is because they're applying for them more than women are, because women are looking at the experience that they require and all that kind of stuff, and they're thinking, okay, I don't really have all that, so then a lot of women are not applying, whereas men are more bold. They're like, okay, well, so what, I'm missing a year, I'm still going to apply anyways, and chances are I'm still going to get an interview, and then all I have to do is just impress them in the interview, and then I'm probably going to get the job. That's the way they think. The very typical masculine energy, the yang energy, that's the way it thinks. So you need to think more like that. So that's when your good luck is going to come. Your good luck is going to come when you're more in your yang energy. So you should try to get to about 51% in this incarnation, because you don't want to be out of balance, right? You don't want to go from one extreme to the other extreme. But right now, when you incarnated, you were too much. You were in the extreme yin energy. So as long as you're in the extreme yin energy, or you're out of balance and you're more yin than yang, you're going to have bad luck. And when you're more yang than yin, or equally balanced, that's when you're going to have good luck. So, and that is in every little area of your life, and then of course your life in general. So make your own decisions, set parameters, set boundaries, take leadership over your life, take your power back, and make firm decisions about where you want your life to go, and actually take active steps towards that. And then the energy will flow with you towards making that a thing, making it a reality. Also, be mindful of the types of people you attract. Again, as I said, if you're 90% yin, you're going to attract people who are 90% yang, to continue to fill in that gap, that void, to push your boundaries and to overstep by that degree. So you can use other people that you're attracting in your life as a kind of gauge to see where you are percentile wise in your yin and yang balance. You could also use the way your life is going in general. If you keep getting jobs that you detest, or you keep getting apartments that you don't want, or you keep getting, I don't know, just whatever things that you don't want, that's another good gauge to gauge where you're at in terms of your percentile. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 4. Welcome to your reading. So the life lesson that you planned with your spiritual guides to learn here in this incarnation, it's about being resilient. Now, I'm trying to understand why you would choose this, and I'm really trying to keep my own emotions out of this, because quite honestly, something like this just annoys me. And this is going to be any people who are in war zones. If they were watching this pick a card reading, they would be here. Mind you, I still have 2 other piles. I don't know what they will be, but based out of the 4 I did so far, and based on what I'm seeing, anyone born in really poor circumstances, born in poverty, born in abuse, neglect, war zones, would all be here in this group. So you should resonate with something like that. Growing up really poor in poverty, growing up with alcoholic or abusive parents, or neglectful parents, or chaotic environments, bouncing around from place to place, maybe being abused, maybe even actually being in a war zone, maybe having to flee when you were a kid and move to another country with your parents. There's a lot of stuff here about being resilient and regenerating. You may also resonate with being in abusive romantic relationships, just a lot of abuse and chaos. So you actually chose to experience that because you wanted to develop your resilience, and you wanted to experience peace within the chaos or something. Now, the part of this I do understand is the whole wanting to build your resilience, because you can't build your resilience in peaceful situations. And I'm picking up like a scorpionic energy. So some of you guys may have north nodes in Scorpio, and it's because you wanted to regenerate. You wanted to have that regeneration ability that only the Scorpio really has in the zodiac signs. Yeah, so you wanted to have that regeneration ability. You wanted to be able to get yourself out of sticky situations. You wanted to be able to thrive in sticky situations. This lifetime is not going to be easy for you guys at all, not even in the least. But this was your choice. So I did have to pull out a tarot deck for you guys. And I did get the Eight of Swords reversed, which led me to tell you everything that I told you. Here I do have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So that's also telling me life in general is not going to be peachy clean. I'm seeing poverty. I'm seeing chaos, especially when it comes to family life. I don't see a stable family life. Growing up, you either had to move around a lot, you had to flee a war zone, or you were a refugee when you were a kid, or you feel you have like complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Everyone here I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist, disclaimer, but I'm picking up a lot of PTSD and CPTSD. So I also pulled the Death card for you, which is again a Scorpio card. So I stick with what I said. A lot of you guys have north nodes in Scorpio. If you don't have a north node in Scorpio, then your sun sign is probably in Scorpio, or your moon. And you know what? It's actually interesting that you chose the Apache Tear stone. This is the Apache Tear. You might want to get one. It's supposed to help with grief. This stone. That's what it is. And it's a grieving stone. And you chose the pile with the grieving stone. You wanted to end being soft. You felt like you were too soft for whatever reason. I have this King of Wands reversed next to the Death card. It's like you wanted to end being too soft. It's like the King of Wands reverse is like a king who has no business being a king. He just inherited it. Maybe he's too young. His father died too young when he was too young, or he's not as strong as his father. He's a little bit of a weakling, but unfortunately he was born first, so he inherited it, even though the younger brother or someone else or the uncle should have inherited, or even his sister, his older sister. But you know, this is what I'm getting, like a kind of a weakling, and you had enough of it, or you wanted to buff up. It's like when you go to the gym, when you're really scrawny and you go to the gym because you want to buff up. This is what it was. This was this incarnation for you. You were scrawny, and this incarnation was a gym, and when you leave here you want to be buff. That's, if I could just put it plainly, that's what it is. So I'm seeing a lot of calamity, a lot of chaos, a lot of abuse in this lifetime. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, Pal 5. Welcome to your reading. So what you had decided you wanted to experience in this incarnation, what lesson you wanted to experience before incarnating, it's about being psychic and trusting your psychic intuition. So everyone in this group are psychics. So welcome. You guys are superior to me. So thank you for being here. So you will resonate with incarnating into a family or a situation where you were required to be on your own often, or rely on yourself often. So I'm hearing for some of you guys there was a little bit of some abuse growing up. I'm not picking up a lot, not like the last group. And it's funny, all of these readings appear to kind of be bleeding into each other just ever so slightly as we go along. It's like they're going along in a type of order, and they also appear to be corresponding to the crystals I just randomly placed on them for you guys to choose. So pile 3 was about their yang energy. They had the citrine. The last pile was about grief, and they had the Apache tear. You guys have the quartz crystal, which is about, intuition and clarity of thought, your higher chakra, your seventh chakra, opening up your psychic abilities and all that kind of stuff. It's one of the highest vibrating crystals. As you guys probably know, I don't need to tell you guys this. You're the psychics here. So this is just all kind of interesting. So I am picking up a little bit, like we're bleeding again from the last group into this one, just a little bit of abuse growing up, not as much as them, but fortunately, but something that requires you guys to kind of go into your own shell, go into a shell. It may have been that you guys are only children and you had to play by yourself a lot. You may have been bullied at school or ostracized. I'm seeing more ostracized than bullied, but of course, bullying comes with ostracization. And I'm seeing you having to play with yourself a lot, hang around yourself a lot at school and at home. Maybe you were left at home often by yourself when your parents were working a lot. And again, with this small abuse, maybe you went into your own shell and you became kind of quiet. So I'm seeing more of a quiet kid growing up, and that forced you to go inwards, to not focus so much on the outside world, and to tap into your abilities as soon as you possibly could, so early on. So you should, of course, already have known this, that you're psychic. You wanted to experience your psychic powers in the 3D realm, at this level. You wanted to experience being a channel at this level, at the 3D level. So this is exactly why you came here. You wanted to help people. You wanted to continue to maintain your connection to spirit. And you didn't want there to be a complete cutoff. So for you guys, the veil is not as thick. There's not a complete cutoff for you guys. You may be able to see or hear or sense dead people. You may be able to see, hear, or sense your own spiritual teams. You probably come from a line. There's an ancestor who also had this ability somewhere down your line. I'm seeing a female, and she is a spirit guide of yours. Now, yeah, so this is very straightforward for this group. That's what you wanted to experience. That's what you decided. You decided that you would incarnate into a situation that would leave you like a hermit, leave you in solitude, leave you to be self-reliant. So if you're feeling just a little bitter over some things that happened in your childhood, it was supposed to happen. So that anything that you can point to in your childhood, where you can directly point between that and make a correlation between that and you being more solitary, then it was supposed to happen. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and practice your craft. This is your life purpose. This is what you're supposed to be doing, in case you were questioning it. This is your life purpose. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile 6. Welcome to your reading. So what life lesson did you decide that you wanted to learn before incarnating? You love. That's it. May sound a little corny, but it's the truth. Love. You wanted to experience love. You wanted to experience love in different forms. So you're meant to experience love in different forms. It's meant to experience it through your family, your birth family. You're meant to experience it through your friends, through your children, and through your romantic partner. So also through career, you're meant to experience love as well. In almost every avenue that it can come through, or actually not almost every avenue that love can come through, you decided that that's what you wanted to experience. So you're meant to experience love through absolutely every avenue that it could possibly be experienced. So this sounds like an easy life, and while your life may not be as chaotic as some of the other piles, it's not going to be completely easy, because to be able to experience love truly, you have to be able to experience its opposite, which is hate, or we'll say very strong dislike, because you guys are coming off as people who find it difficult to actually truly hate anyone, but you do have dislikes for some people. We'll call it strong dislikes. So I'm laughing because I'm picking up your energy, and it's kind of cute. Yeah, so you will experience, I'm hearing, difficult coworkers. I specifically heard that for some of you guys. Difficult people like on school committees, like where your children go to school, maybe difficult teachers. You're going to experience difficult people where you have to make a decision about how you're going to react to them. Are you going to send them back the same difficult and rude energy that they're sending you, or are you going to send them back love? How are you going to think about these people? Because also how you think about them, how you view them, is also related to how they will continue to treat you and act around you. You actually have the ability to change the way people act around you based on the way you view them. So initially, you don't have any real power over how someone acts. You know, if they're having a bad day and you go into the store or you go into the office during their kind of bad day and they're kind of snappy, you know, are you going to snap back at them? Are you going to be cold to them the way they're being cold to you and not very friendly? Or are you going to be friendly back and smile? That's actually the route that you should take in this lifetime. Smile, be nice, be friendly, be loving. You're the type of person who's going to make other people's day simply because you say, you know, have a nice day, or you smile and you give them like these little compliments, or you say these kind of nice things when someone is otherwise having a bad day. You're going to be able to make them have a better day. You're going to be able to take away some of the stress from their shoulders. So I am seeing for some careers, I am seeing immediately cashiers, because I'm seeing a lot of kind of irritated people coming through and you just smiling and being so pleasant that you end up changing how they have how their day goes. Other types of customer service positions would be extremely, extremely good for you guys. Working in schools would be extremely good for you guys. Working in law enforcement would be stressful for you guys, but it would be great for the community. Social work would also be good for you guys. Psychology, child psychology would also be good for you guys. Nursing would also be good for you guys. So those are just some random careers I picked up. I didn't do that with any other group, but I was seeing them, so I decided to say it, especially since the last video that I put out was about career and life purpose. So just in case I didn't give you much to go by that career, although I'm pretty sure if you watch that video, you probably got pile 2. I have a hard time believing you got any pile other than pile 2 in that last video. And here you guys are again in this reading. It's the same people. So working with children, but you're just very loving. You may also, again, you may find you're going to almost equally attract people who are easy to love, like your own children, and people who are difficult to love. You may end up having an issue with a romantic partner, but in the end, you're going to end up finding, like, again, if you came from that pile in that last video and you find that you do have an issue with the romantic partner who you co-created with, who you made your children with, then you will end up in life having a soulmate, being with someone who truly loves you. So don't give up, because you're meant to experience love, like I said, in every avenue. So if you find that there's some avenue where you've been lacking in experiencing true love, you will, before you leave this incarnation, you will experience true love in that particular area that you feel that you're lacking in. So just continue to smile, continue to send love towards people, and that's actually why you incarnated. That was your plan, to experience love and to give love. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading.